So I wasn't really planning on making an energy update for November, but I was on the phone with one of my best friends and she was asking me to tap into a certain time for her, which just so happened to be right around the lunar eclipse that we have coming up and the full moon in Taurus. And I just got this wave, this download of information, and I decided that I have to get on here and share it with anybody else who might need it because it was so helpful for her. So here we are doing an energy update on the road. Hello my loves, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Leeor Alexandra. Welcome to the B community. On this channel we talk about spirituality, personal development, and so much more. And I like to do these energy forecasts where I tap into the energy of a certain time of month, usually the lunations such as the full and new moons. And I just kind of do this download of what comes through, and it's loosely related to astrology. Sometimes I pull cards. Just really good, and it's a guidance of how to kind of navigate what the cosmos are offering us right now. I really apologize if the volume, if the sound isn't as good as usual. I don't have my microphone with me, so it's just me, you, and this little Sony camera. So for this energy reading, I'm actually giving kind of a reading for the first half of November. It's focused on the 8th, which is our Taurus full moon, but it's also going to be a little bit towards the middle of the month. And towards the end of this reading, I will give you some journal prompts that you can focus on for the full moon. Before we get started, I just want to ask you to please subscribe if you haven't already. And if you're already subscribed, to make sure that you have your notifications on. And the way you do that is you click the little, I think it's the bell emoji right next to the subscribe, and make sure that you're getting notified when I post, so that you never miss an energy reading, and it also really helps the channel. I have a goal to be at a certain percentage of you guys getting notified when I post, and you'll be helping me reach that. So thank you so much, my love. So I'm feeling that this full moon with a lunar eclipse is a really potent time for healing. It's a time for letting go, for forgiving. It's also a time for taking action. And that action will become really clear within a few days after the full moon. So we have this Taurus full moon and this lunar eclipse on November 8th. It's a very powerful and intense full moon. You know, eclipses make everything even crazier. And like I was saying, the themes that I've picked up on around this is to take action, inspired action, to forgive ourselves and others, and also to heal, healing ourselves, but especially healing relationships. So whenever we have a Taurus full moon, it's really a time for grounding, especially in, you know, eclipse season and also Scorpio season. We have so much that takes us deep into our inner worlds, and we might get a little flighty, a little bit too, you know, intense. And Taurus is here to ground us, to bring us back to center, to stillness, to stability. I don't know about you, but I've, in this past eclipse cycle, since about the 25th, but also since before all of October, I really went into my own underworld, and I had to see what was in there and to integrate a lot and to come to terms with a lot, and then to start to take action on that. And I'm still going through it. I still feel myself going through that. And I'm really looking forward to the grounding that I'm going to get from the Taurus full moon. And how I'm going to take advantage of that is I'm going to get out into nature. I'm going to spend time outdoors. And I'm not just saying that this is not just a concept. I'm asking you to go forest bathing. Now, forest bathing doesn't always mean a forest. It could also mean, you know, and the beach or a park, just to be inside of something natural. Put your feet in the dirt and kind of get the nutrients and the frequency raising that nature so naturally does for us. I'm really excited to do that, and it's going to help with all that intense eclipse energy. So right around the 8th and also leading up to it, maybe a few days before, watch out for some tension in your relationships. This could be in your family, friend, or love connections, right? You might experience some more disagreements coming up. If you can approach them with a lot of presence, mindfulness, and awareness, you will cultivate that peace that Taurus can bring us and that harmony, and get through this and become stronger on the other side of it. Remember that a full moon in general tends to make us, you know, lose our heads, lose our temper, and an eclipse makes that even more intense. So as long as you stay connected to your breath, you know, bring consciousness into your life, into your days, into your moments, you're going to find peace. You're not going to make a mess of things. And even if you do, it's okay, because we have some crazy healing coming up. And whatever comes up is going to be for your well-being, no matter what it is. Something interesting that's happening around the 8th is that we have all these transits that indicate that the perspective is going to shift. So whereas we were really divided on certain issues, we might start to take one side. So people from one side coming to the other, or people who took no side at all deciding to take some sort of side. This could be in a very political way, which is interesting because we do have, I believe, a general election in the US on November 8th. So something might come up that brings people to one side, unites people on one side, or that shifts the tides toward a specific side. So this is going to be interesting to watch. Now, what I'm excited about and what I was talking to my friend about is the energy that's coming for us around 11/11, which in itself is such a powerful numerological day. You know, it's an angel number, and it is the portals. It's the 1111. Even when we just have 11s, it's a portal. We're walking into a new reality. And I think that Star Heal, Amy, this astrologer that I follow, recently said that the period between eclipses is a time of karmic shifts and acceleration of consciousness, course corrections, and shifting realities and timelines. And I think that we're really going to get that on 11/11. Okay, so we have this really intense portal that day that shifts things completely. The eclipse cycle is over on the 8th, right? That's when we have the lunar eclipse. And suddenly we have more clarity around something, and we're going to start feeling or receiving some sort of guidance that's going to push us to take some sort of action. And once we take this action, if it's divinely inspired, right? If it comes from a place of knowing, of intuition, of consciousness, awareness, and not from a place of fear, this divinely inspired action is going to propel us forward in a way that we did not expect to go, possibly on a completely different route. You might experience some sort of course correcting. You might have thought that you're going this way, but you're going to end up going another way completely, but it's going to be a positive thing. So around the 11th, we're going to be able to see more clearly, more clarity is coming in. We're going to know what we want to do. And if you find yourself with some sort of opportunity that you know you want to take, please take it. This is a time for action. Do not wait for all the signs from the universe. You're getting the signs. This is your sign. Take action. Whether that be to go for it in a relationship or a job, or go for your dream, or go for that vacation, or go for that traveling, or whatever it is, go for it. If you feel divinely inspired around that time, you gain some clarity, say yes and do it. And then that leads us into kind of mid-November. So I picked up on something interesting that's coming for us starting on the 11th and deepening up into the 15th. And this is a really potent time for relational healing a relationship that may have gone through some things. That relationship can be with yourself and with your inner child. It can be with friends. I'm feeling like it has a lot to do with love relationships though. And the really good thing about this is if you do the work for this relationship, if you do the healing, it's going to set you on a really good trajectory, okay? This is going to cause this relationship to strengthen and to have a very bright future. But in order for that to happen, two things need to be considered. One is the wounds must be acknowledged. And the second is communication must be sober and concise. Let me go over that. So you can't sweep anything under the rug right now. Whatever's happened in the past, whatever needs to be talked about has got to come to the light. You have to bring things to the light. The healing can only happen if you take a look at what caused the issue, what caused the wound, and if you talk from this sober-centered place. So because we have Mars retrograde in Gemini, that's going to kind of bring up a little bit of miscommunications. So you want to be very, very particular with how you say things and how you communicate. But it's still a really good time for communication, especially for that healing. Mars in Gemini is also going to ask us to review something that may have really been swept under the rug in the past. And that's the time to look at these things is right now. It's going to be under review for the next couple of months as Mars in Gemini continues to be retrograde. So like I was saying, you might find yourself changing directions and some sort of path that you were taking, course correcting, and getting onto a better timeline than before, especially if you handle all this with a lot of consciousness. But I do feel very, very positive for moving forward with relationships if the healings, if the wounds are tended to, if you look at things, if you open things up, and if you speak really clearly and from a place of love and centeredness. So overall, for me, this feels like an intense time leading up to the 8th, really intense time, a lot of shifts, a lot of things coming up because of the eclipses. And then right after, it's the full moon starts to wane, that energy starts to recede. And as we get into the 11th, we're going to receive a lot of clarity, a lot of inspired action, and it's time for forward movement and taking action. So the signs that are going to be affected most by all of this are if you have Scorpio, Taurus, Leo, and Aquarius anywhere in your chart. No matter where you have that in your chart, doesn't need to just be your sun sign. And of course, note that this energy affects us all as a collective consciousness, all of humanity, and I would say even animals, earthling kind, even Mother Nature, the elements. So even if you don't have these signs, you're going to certainly feel affected by this energy. And I'm just going to share with you a few journaling prompts. I'll have these listed in the description below. Number 1, what have I pushed away that I'm ready to revisit? Number 2, who or what do I need to forgive and let go of? Number 3, how will I feel once I forgive and let go? Number 4, is there anything I need to forgive myself for? And number 5, in what area of my life am I ready to take more action? So these journaling prompts are just so you can explore your own consciousness and become very grounded. Please make sure not to do anything too impulsive around the full moon. This full moon and lunar eclipse is going to make us want to be impulsive. Take deep breaths before speaking, before reacting, and just keep your wits about you, okay? Make sure that you get out in nature if you can and ground yourself. Do these journaling prompts, breathe, and enjoy what life has to bring us. I love you so much. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, let me know in the comments below. Leave me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notifications. Until next time, I love you so much. Keep your vibrations way up.